Good morning, welcome back to my channel, welcome to this week's Calorie Crush. Last week I told you guys that I intended to rejig my calories, that I had decided for the first time since I began this weight loss thingamy journey, that I decided to go with what Nutricheck said should be my allowance for the week. For those of you who don't know, Nutricheck is the app that I use to track my calories. I tried MyFitnessPal, I didn't really get on with it. I like Nutricheck better. I think it is a better app. It is a paid app. I think it's £24 for the year, but usually there's some kind of special offer on here or there. And I know if you go to Carla'S channel, where I put a link to last week, I know she's got a discount code for Nutricheck, so I'm not quite sure what that works. I think you get a month free and a little bit off or something like that. Anyway, I'm not affiliated with them is the point of that. I just really like this app. I think it's the best app for tracking weight loss that I have used. And tracking calories specifically. It's an app that has everything, you know, you scan the barcodes, it tells you the calorific values of the food and so on and so forth. But also, what you can do on Nutricheck is you put your stats in, your current stats for weight, height, age, activity level, and it works out the calories that you should eat if you want to lose weight. And you can set it to £0.5 a week or £1 a week or £2 a week. I think £2 a week is the maximum you can set it to. You can also override that completely and set in your own calorie goal. If you set it too low, Nutricheck will warn you that what you're setting is not a healthy amount of calories for a person your size, but you can override and set your own calorie goal. And that's what I did from the beginning. When I decided it was time to lose weight, I allowed myself 2,000 calories a day. I did that because 2,000 calories is the allowance for an average woman. The average woman needs 2,000 calories a day. And so that's what I went with, 2,000 calories, because I wanted to be an average woman. Not because I thought I was, because I wanted to be. I wanted to eat like an average woman. When I first started to lose weight, I was 27 stone, and I could have easily lost weight eating 700 calories more than that per day. I could have set my allowance at 2,700, I would still have lost weight. But because I set it at 2,000, I lost weight quite rapidly. And that was good. It gave me the boost that I needed to believe that this was worth doing. It was good for me to lose weight quite quickly at first. However, that did tail off, and it didn't tail off because of the amount of calories I was allowed. It tailed off because of the amount of calories I was eating, which is not the same thing. So last week I decided to rejig my calories, and my new calories are now set to the Nutricheck recommended amount for my weight, height, age and activity level, and it gives me 2,200 and something. 2,231 for the day, which is 231 more than my previous allowance. And when I told you guys this, some of you misunderstood what I was saying. A couple of you jumped on the, I can't believe you think you can eat more and lose weight, that's stupid. That's not what I said. What I said was I'm going to rejig my allowance so that I have a higher calorie allowance. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I have been busting through my calorie allowance on a regular basis. So I didn't say I'm going to eat more and lose weight. I said I'm going to allow myself more in the hopes that I will eat less. Can you hear the difference there? I'm speaking to you, KLW, and one other lady whose name temporarily escapes me. But KLW and I have had a bit of a sparring match recently because she is outraged that I think I can make the rules up as I go along, apparently, despite the fact this is my damn body and I can absolutely make the rules up as I go along. I didn't say I'm going to eat more and see if that helps me lose weight. I said I'm going to allow myself more and see if that helps me stick within it, which is different. That's a different sentence entirely. So now I'm allowed 2,231 calories a day. Some days I have eaten 2,000 calories a day. Some days I have eaten almost 2,231, but I haven't eaten over. I haven't bust through that higher boundary. One of the metaphors that I used last week was perhaps if the walls of my cell were a bit further apart, I wouldn't feel the urge for freedom so much. Can you see what I mean by that? For me, sticking to a calorie deficit is a psychological issue. So I do suffer with the greed, or suffer, I hate the word suffer, I do have the greed issue as well, but most of it, the bulk of my problem is rebellion. The bulk of my problem is the psychological hatred of feeling constricted, of feeling that I have to do what I have to do. I hate it. I hate it, and because of that I rebel against it. Some of you have recommended I go to Overeaters Anonymous. I'm not interested in group therapy. I've tried group therapy. It's not my thing. Would one-to-one therapy help? I don't know. Because of my psychological, almost pathological resentment of being told what to do, I don't know whether one-to-one therapy would help either, but I do know I can't afford it. One lady asked if I'd considered Saxenda. I've certainly looked at everybody using Saxenda and seen that it seems to be working for some people, but I don't like the idea of injecting myself on a daily basis, and I certainly don't like the amount that it costs to use Saxenda. It's something like £250 a month. So no, I have not considered using it myself. So no, I didn't say I'm going to eat more and see if I can lose weight. I said I'm going to increase my allowance and see if I can stick within it, which is not quite the same thing. On an allowance of 2,000 calories a day, I was consuming 2,500 at best. At best. Over the last few weeks, over the last few weeks, I'm allowed 2,000 a day, and I've been consuming about 2,500. Purely through the rebellion. On allowance of 2,231, I've managed to stay considerably within it. And I don't understand it. I don't understand me. I don't know why I work this way, but I do recognise that I work this way. I wish I did know why my brain operates this way. I know you can take it back to childhood experiences, and believe me, I have unpacked a lot of that. I've unpacked a lot of I know why a lot of my rebellious nature is there. I've unpacked an awful lot of that. Believe me. You guys, the critical people seem to think you know me. You don't know me as well as I know me. I know my history, I know my past, I know my reactions, I know why I do things a certain way up to a point. But I don't know why my brain refuses to be rewired when I want it to be. I don't know why I'm not in control of my own rebellion. That's the bit I'm still trying to work on. Anyway, let's jump on the scales and we'll see how I got on this week. Last week I weighed 279.5 pounds. Monday, scales time. £277.2. I round that up to 277.5. That's £2 off. That's a £2 loss. A £2 loss, which I am absolutely overjoyed with. Really, really pleased with that this week. I have just had a different attitude. I haven't experienced that rebellion quite so much, and that's why this worked for me. Well, I hope this is going to continue to work, but that's why I thought this might work for me. This whole just giving myself a bit more of a break and seeing if it would stop me fighting against the... I've gone into horse riding metaphors now. You know, in horse riding, if you loosen the reins a bit, the horse stops pulling so much. So the tighter you hold the reins, the more the horse pulls, because it's fighting against the bit that's in its mouth. If you hold the reins more loosely, they teach you to relax the shoulders, relax the arms, flop your arms, hold the reins lightly, and the horse stops pulling. And that's how I feel I've been. I feel like I've been the horse in the traces, pulling like fury. And when they were relaxed slightly, I went, oh, that's all right then. Quite why we've gone horse riding metaphors today, I do not know. We've gone from prison to horse riding. I don't know. This is how my brain operates at 7 AM apparently. Either way, £2 off. I'm delighted with that. And if I can keep that up, then I will get back to where I was and then hopefully be able to progress further on from there. I understand that for viewers who don't necessarily understand what I said, that what they think they heard is frustrating. I get that. I get that you think, what kind of idiocy is this? I'm going to eat more so that I can lose weight. But I never said I'm going to eat more so I can lose weight. I never said that. I said I'm going to allow myself more in the hopes that I can then stop rebelling and eating more. I hope it makes sense now, even if it didn't make sense before. I've got 2 little markers to add onto my board. This one is the half. If you're wondering why I'm pulling one off, I'm moving the half along. Total weight loss now standing at 7 stone 4.5 pounds. I'd like to get back to where I was. I can do that in a few weeks' time, hopefully. Like I said, my NutriCheck is set to allow me a loss of £1 a week. This week I've lost 2. That's doubly good, isn't it? Double bubble. But I am happy. If I lose £1 a week, I'll be happy with that. I need to get back into a steady downwards trajectory instead of this bumpity whoop thing that's been going on. I know this has been one of those weeks when I just kind of ramble on and start using weird metaphors and try to explain myself, but I hope I have made it a bit more clear why I've allowed myself more calories. I hope that makes more sense to more people now. And as I said to KLW, if you don't like me, then we should just split up. We should just split up, because nobody's making you stay and listen to what you consider to be my idiotic decisions. Nobody's making you do that. I'm off. I will see you next week for Carla's Calorie Crush. Fingers crossed we're still heading downwards at that point. I feel very, very much less rebellious. Is that good grammar? I feel very, very much less rebellious. That doesn't sound like good grammar, does it? I feel less rebellious towards the whole process at the moment. I feel a bit more positive. I feel a little bit clearer in my head and a little bit more... Positive's the only word I've got, really. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Excuse my vocabulary. It's a bit still in bed. I'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye for now.